Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a subject to you that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. It is Sunday, a beautiful July morning in 2025, and I am outdoors enjoying some fresh air and sunshine. And I just found what I believed was a Bible. I'll show it to you here. Get a good picture of it. It's a beautiful bound book, which definitely looks like a Bible. My confusion hopefully is understandable, but it's not. It's a missal, M-I-S-S-A-L, not I-L-E, different type of missal, for Catholic Mass. And I have begun reading it, and I might continue reading it. I'm not sure yet, but I want to comment first on the opening chapter, the preface, if you will. It describes the purpose of the book, like it should. Like any book should open with a thesis. If you've taken creative writing or any kind of writing class, you know what that is. And the thesis of this book states clearly that the purpose of Mass, Catholic Mass, I assume, is that each individual should come in contact with the merits of the cross so as to partake of the sacrifice, which makes sense. It sounds good. It sounds really good. And then it kind of leaves it at that. It branches off into some references to the New Testament, and I haven't gotten any further yet, but hold that thought. Okay, so the purpose of Mass, I'm going to say this again for my own benefit, the purpose of Mass is so that each individual should come in contact with the merits of the cross. Forgive me for thinking about this, and I don't want to overthink it. This was a quote, a direct quote from a pope, a past pope, obviously. And the merits of the cross, I suppose, would be somehow reviewed or itemized deeper in the text. They don't necessarily need to be in the opening paragraph, but they are definitely absent from that paragraph. And I think that it matters. I find it's almost impossible to nail down a reliable description of the purpose of many religious ceremonies, other than the fact that they are ceremonial. This is a problem for me. It's a problem to stand on ceremony. Maybe you've heard this expression, standing on ceremony. Having a monologue, I'm going to hold the book up again. This is a monologue right here. I can't have an interactive discussion with this book. I cannot ask it questions and expect an answer to my question, arbitrary questions, that is. And I can't ask for clarification. I can't ask it to expand or research things or even what it means by certain things. And that's exactly what a document is. It's a monologue. And it gives the writer or speaker tremendous power because you're no longer able to protest. You're no longer able to interpret. Well, you have to, excuse me, the opposite is true. You have to interpret. Suddenly you have to interpret. That's actually what I meant to say. So the opportunity here is that this book, I assume, and the Bible, and any document really, is taking the writer and the sources of information out of the picture and giving the symbol all the power, and the person who holds the symbol, who wields it, who sells it. And there's no way to fight it, really, because you're not going to rewrite this book. You can't change it. It's already done. There's something here. Okay, now maybe I'm stating the obvious, but there's something unsettling here. The vast majority of actors in this book and the Bible are not here anymore. Hence faith, I suppose. Why we have to take it on faith that they said what the Bible says they said. That's a lot of faith. And I'm stretching my mind as hard as I can to think of any document where it's 100% accurate and interpretation is not a huge variable. Where if a living person were to read it, they might, wish to clarify in their own words or become available somehow. I think it might be possible. I'm not trying to, criticize this book or the Catholic religion or Christianity or any religion. I think it may be possible to ask for too much faith, to turn this book and a whole religion into a lightning rod for the well wishes of human instinct. I'm going to say that again. I believe humans are deeply good people when left to their own devices. When scarcity and miscommunication are taken out of the picture, people are very good people. Maybe that's obvious. I don't know. But lightning rods, you start to see them everywhere. When you recognize a lightning rod, when you have good feelings about generosity, sacrifice, goodwill, peace, love, infinite love, that's also in the opening paragraph. When you think about these ideas, it's sometimes helpful to stick a symbol on them again, right? It's just what we do. I don't know. I'm not trying to be rude, but we love to just, tidy everything up into a nice little package and compartmentalize it, separate it from reality, put it on a shelf with other symbols, and point at it. If somebody has a question, just point to the book. How easy is that? You can't argue with the book. So-and-so has a complaint or a difficult question. All you have to do is hand them the book and say it takes faith. If you still don't believe, that's on you now. And I'm sorry to be rude, but that's what it is. That is what it is. Come on. I got questions. None of my questions are getting answered. This book won't answer my questions. I've been thrown out of churches for asking these questions. For example, how do I know that it's not the devil doing these works? Real easy question. You see something that you know is inspired by someone or influenced by a power. How do I know who did that? I'm being told on one hand that God does all these things, but I'm also told that there's a devil, maybe. Okay, who was it? How do I know? You gonna throw me out again for asking that? Shoot, I'm sorry to upset you. This book won't answer my question. So where do I go then? I'm a little frustrated with Christianity right now. I am. And it's because I want to believe. And all I'm seeing is bullshit artists. Help me out. Have a great day. Reach out with questions or comments or in person to whiteheartrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.